the members of the management board, representatives from the Bioeducation Office, team from SUVA, respected teachers, parents, and dear students. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, ram ram, nisambula vinaka, and a very, very good afternoon to you all. Indeed, it's a very good afternoon because this school always brings back very fond memories of my teaching career. I actually started teaching from this school in 1990 when I joined this institution. The school was not where it is today. And I always see this as my second home. And I must share with you, every time I go by this building, I'm reminded of the efforts of the past principals, past managements, past teachers who have actually brought this school to where it is. In 1990, when I started as probably a new teacher, very fresh graduates, Mr. Singh was here with me as well, and he was teaching Hindi, I was teaching English, and you can imagine how old we are. We started in 1990. So I was not teacher trained, but at that time there was shortage of teachers in Fiji, and when we finished our year 13, that was Form 7 that time, we were handpicked to come and teach in the school systems. Big challenge. We were not trained and we had no idea about teaching, so we were put in the classroom to teach. And so I'm glad that Mr. Singh is still here and one of the pioneers of the school. At that time we had a roll of about 79 students. About 13 teachers, close to 13 teachers, and I can still remember the name. A few of them have passed away. We worked day and night. I spent 3 years here before I went for my teacher training. Then after teacher training, I came back here. Then I went back, then came back as a HOD, then came back as IEP, became acting VP. My dream, the sole dream I had was to lead this school as a principal. That was my dream. Unfortunately or fortunately, I had to leave without fulfilling the dream, travel to other schools and one school in North. Still, I wanted to come back, but I think God had some other plans for me. And so to the prefects and the teachers, he made me your head girl, so made me the leader of this institution. And I'm very proud of that. Proud of the fact that this institution, this town, and the people of this town who supported me have brought me to where I am today. So I'll be forever grateful to the trainings that I received as a young teacher and as an admin. And you can count on my support that I will always promote leadership, good quality leadership. And leadership is what we are celebrating here. This morning I was at the Marka Public School, close to 1,100 students. We inducted 114 plus prefects, little kids. Now what is it there that makes you a leader? I did not aspire to be a leader. I wanted to be a teacher. I still want to be a teacher. So when I leave politics and if I get a chance to come back, principal, your job is at a risk. I'll come back to this school. But nevertheless, leadership roles, children are very important roles. So before I move on to your roles and responsibilities, let me thank the teachers for commendable results last year. I'm told you had 92% in the year 13, remarkable, and 74% in year 12, one of the top performing schools. At one time, this school was underperforming. Nobody wanted to come here. We stayed put. And then with the new admin team in late 2000, we turned the results and we attracted more students. I still remember when we started Form 7 and I produced, I think this should be in the record somewhere, 92% in English. Sunita, you would be remembering that. I had 92% in English. I ran to the principal's office. I sort of was dancing. I got 92%. And the next day I fell sick and I was hospitalized. But the point is, life is all about that. Never give up on an institution that you believe in. Never give up. This is a very small farming community, but you are one of those prestigious institutions. This institution will mold you and guide you and take you forward in whichever career you want to. A lot of students who have gone out of this institution hold very prominent positions, not only here, but in the Pacific as well as Australia, New Zealand, and America and Canada. Wherever you go, you'll find somebody, And so to the students here, one of the things that you need to know in order to progress in your leadership career is to listen to your parents. That's one thing. You should never forget the sacrifice of your parents. We had grandparents and parents flooding the hall in Nendi this morning. Half The hall was full of grandparents and parents. And I suggest to the organizers that we allow parents to badge their students. I would like to see you parents badging your own children, because they have made you proud here. And those of you who have turned up, thank you very much for supporting your children's education. Again, to the teachers, continue to work hard, please. I do understand times are very hard, and I said it's a farming community. Parents sacrifice a lot to make sure that the children come to school. They provide you with shoes, bags, uniform, food, etc. We as a government provide you with a free education grant. We offer you scholarships. We offer you subsidized bus fare assistance, and we intend to let it continue in the next financial year as well. The whole idea is that we don't want you to fork out more money. We understand times are difficult. Many have lost their jobs, and somehow many Fijians are trying to struggle to put food on the table. We understand that. But at the end of the day, remember, there is no compromise for hard work. How do you repay your parents? How do you repay your teachers? Is by working hard, scoring good grades, being disciplined, coming to school, and staying away from things that many young children do. And one of that is social media. We are told that our population is close to 900,000, but times 3 we have mobile users. A lot of people have access to that technology, what you call the mobile technology. I'm sure you all have phones and stuff like that. The amount of time you spend on that, the amount of time you spend on social media, chatting with friends, going through your Facebooks and TikToks and all these things, it's a trend. No harm in that. But you need to balance it. Sports, you need to balance it. Health, you need to balance it. Studies must be your priority. So look after yourself and prioritize your studies. To the parents, please control the use of mobile technology on your children. I mean, you will agree with me that many a times we just let the kids play. We don't know what they're doing. Who are they talking to? What sites are they going to? Is it harmful for them? And later on we find out, oh, my kid is in wrong company. There are a lot of people actually out there on social media who act as predators, and they prey upon innocence mind. They make them friends, they invite them here, they share pictures. We have a lot of reports coming in where you share your personal life with somebody who you don't know, just because of a profile you share, and then what happens? There's a lot of revenge activities happening, especially girls, right? Please be very careful about who you share your private life with, especially on Facebooks and other media platforms. Not only is it embarrassing, it's very traumatic. It has a very lasting impact on children. It diverts your mind from your studies as well. So I just want to say that please concentrate on your studies. I always say, I always give myself as an example of what education to do to you, where education can take you, how education can change your life. Education probably is the most powerful tool that we are giving you with. So as a government, as leaders, as teachers, our gift to you is education. What you do with that in future will be dependent on you. Start thinking about your career choices, okay? And I can understand, because you are leaders, you will be asked to do a lot of other chores around the school, supervise duties, help teachers, control class, but balance it. It's very important. Be active in sports. This term is dedicated to sports. There's a lot of questions coming whether we're going to have the Coke games, the rugby, the soccer and stuff. We said go ahead. Children need to be given that opportunity. We are giving you that opportunity, so be active. There are a lot of cases of obesity and all those rest of the NCDs coming from our children as well. Children very young get these diseases, and the best way would be to eat healthy and exercise. To the parents who live around these communities, please ensure that you have home gardening, etc., to supplement your income, fresh food for the children. And the head of school, should you have any children who have problems still getting their stationaries and uniforms and food, etc., please do get in touch with us. We have a lot of donors who are on board to assist the children. But at the end of the day, parental responsibility remains parental responsibilities. I know, understand, parents have to make a lot of sacrifice to buy stuff for the children. So my advice to the school would be to minimize the burden on the children. If you can do with one exercise book for one subject, please do that. Times are very hard. It's very hard. And I really get disturbed when I receive complaints from parents saying, oh, the school wants this book covered this way, this color pen, this color pencil, 3 exercise book, when you can do it in one. It's time to be practical, okay? It's time to support the parents. It's time to encourage more children to come to school. I'd like to share with you a very unfortunate incident about how children react these days. So the way you discipline your kid at the house to the parents and the way we discipline kids in the school are two different things. Children are very sensitive, especially this day and age. You say something, they'll lock themselves in the room, bang the door, answer you back. Please deal with them in a very matured manner. Sometimes what we say to them, sometimes when we use corporal punishment on them at homes, right? Schools, zero tolerance to corporal punishment. We don't go and check inside your homes what's happening. We have a recent case where I don't know what happened. We're trying to look into the case, but children inflict harm upon them, right? And we don't want children to harm themselves. We don't want adults to harm the children. But at the same time, children, you have to be responsible. You have a lot of rights, but you have to be responsible. You need to listen to the advice that your parents give. You need to listen to the advice that your teachers give. That's why they are there. Sometimes you think you know more than the adults. It's nothing hidden. We adults, if we sit and talk about it, we will see how difficult it is to manage teenagers these days. A lot of influences on you. You're modern teenagers. So you say, oh, mom, dad, I know. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. But at the end of the day, you become a good person, you become a good child when you respect your elders. Listen to them. You may not agree, times have changed, but your parents will always be your parents. What time you go home is very important. What time you wake up is very important. Now you are leaders. 40? How many? 40 plus students. You have to balance your housework, you have to balance your homework, you have to balance your life, and you have to balance your leadership role. How do you bring about that balance? I leave it to the teachers to guide the children. Do not be pressured. If you cannot continue with the duties of being a leader and a student, talk to your teachers. Okay? I hope these positions are not enforced upon you. Sometimes we have cases, I didn't want to be a prefect, now I have to supervise this and that. The parent comes and says, my child is not able to concentrate in the studies. But don't give up. There's always a solution to any challenge that you have. Okay, so I really have to be somewhere else after some time. I've been given 5-10 minutes. I think I've taken my time. But thank you very much. Congratulations. You have been chosen from the best. You've been chosen, you're the best that have, but that doesn't mean the other 200 plus students you are not best. You are equally special, you have your own talents, you are all special in one way or the other. So to the teachers, please harness that. Not all will become doctors, lawyers and engineers and scientists, but you have a potential in you that the education system needs to bring out. You may like art, you may like sports, you may like whatever, your favorite subjects and stuff. We are here to facilitate that. Okay, we are here to facilitate your learning. So I know at the end of the day you have to do an exam. At the end of the year you have to do your exams, but prepare for that. When you prepare and you plan, you will be able to overcome anything that comes your way. Okay? So thank you for having me once again. Like I said, this school is a home and I will never miss any opportunity to be here. And thank you for the hospitality, and it's good to see all my previous staff back. And I'm sure to the management, your leadership is something that you should be proud of. You can leave your school in good hands. Your principal is an experienced man, and I'm sure he will do justice to the role that we've given him. And please, new staff to the school, understand the culture, understand the ethics, understand how the school operations go. We always say respect for faith. Whatever faith-based organization runs the institution, it's very important that you blend to that. Changes are good, but changes must come slow. And changes must come by talking to people, consulting with the community, consulting with your management and staff. And I'm sure this school will achieve another level of success in 2021. So with these words, God bless you all, and thank you once again.
Starting with ER 9A, the ER prefect is Anshika Shayal.
And Shivnil Parmar.
Thank you.
The first deputy head girl is Vinaisi Kalokalo Nabatu of 12A. Vinaisi has been a member of student council since she has joined Vasanathan College in 2018. She was elected as a form captain in year 9, form captain in year 10, and selected as a school prefect in year 11 in 2020. With a sense of responsibility, Vinaisi has always been able to balance her role as a school prefect and as a student. Setata has been selected as the school prefect and has been able to prove herself last year to be appointed as the deputy head girl. Setata also has scored the highest mark in Vosavagaviti in year 10 in 2019. Candidate for the head girl who has scored the highest average point in the selection criteria is Varshika Nandini Raj of 13B. Varshika has been the senior school prefect for the last 2 years. Apart from this, Varshika has also been the highest scorer for year 12 certificate examination in 2020, scoring 381 out of 400 marks. It would be injustice of me if I forget to mention here that Varshika is one of those students who has scored 100 out of 100 marks in accounting at year 12 level in 2020. Shivras has also been the deputy head boy and the head boy of his school at year 7 and year 8 levels. He has been the school prefect in 2020 at Vasanathan College.
We will not betray the trust that has been placed in us today. So help us God. United States.